I love the little droplet of sweat on the person's hand.
Yeah, he's like, oh God.
Please don't take it, please don't take it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Cardmarket. We are here for everyone's favorite TCG guessing game, Staple or Stinker, and today I'm joined by the lovely Spice 8-Rack. How are you doing, Spice?
Hello everyone, I'm doing absolutely wonderful, thank you very much. I obviously play Magic the Gathering and know Magic the Gathering. I used to collect YuGiOh, much to the chagrin of my parents when I was back in primary school. So we'll see how well my memory holds up, really.
Right, so yeah, your experience with YuGiOh, like most people, kind of saw the show as a kid, like played on the playground a little bit, that's about it.
It didn't play like it did in the anime, which was disappointing and bad.
Yes, that is true. We all made up our own rules, but now we're talking about the real rules. I have 6 cards for you today, and I want you to tell me if you think it is a staple card that's used in competitive YuGiOh today, or if it is a stinker that nobody likes.
Sounds absolutely fantastic, and I'm gonna get every single one of them right.
You can start us off with this card here. It is called Snake Eye Ash.
Snake Eye Ash. So it's a fire type?
Attribute is fire, yes.
Good. I like the immediate tone shift of, I've explained this to someone who doesn't know.
Yep, the type is actually the first thing in the box there.
Oh, yes, of course. It's a pyro effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand. You can send 2 face-up cards you control to the graveyard, including this card, special summon 1 Snake Eye monster from your hand or deck, except for Snake Eye Ash. You can only use the effect of Snake Eye Ash once a turn. It's got 800 attack, 1000 defense, and 1 Dragon Ball.
Oh, the almighty Dragon Balls.
Yeah, I still don't know what those mean, and I can't ask what those mean.
Yes, you can. I can. That's the card's level. So if a card is level 1 to 4, you can once per turn normal summon it from your hand.
Fantastic. So I can use this. So when I play this, I can go and find a fire monster from my deck, probably a Snake Eye of some description, and then I can sack this and 2 other face-up cards to put a Snake Eye monster from my hand. This feels like not that good. I mean, the tutor effect is good, but if memory serves, like, you can play at least one thing in YuGiOh each turn for free, right?
Yes. So once per turn, you get a normal summon, which is a level 1 to 4 monster from your hand. You can just play it to the field, essentially for free as your once per turn normal summon. Special summons are a whole other thing that basically any other way you get monsters on the field counts as a special summon. But once per turn, you get a normal summon. The normal summon gets you a card from your deck. Then the second effect is tributing on the field this card and 1 of your other cards to get a Snake Eye from your deck to the field instead of to your hand.
Oh, okay. That does make it sound a little bit better. So I imagine the line is you play this, go search up a second one of these, to play that, to then sack it in order to get a big Snake Eyes monster. You know what? I'm going to say this is a staple. I'm going to say this is part of some kind of delightful combo. Well, that was wrong, wasn't it?
No. It's okay. I just want to make sure you fully understand, because you only get 1 normal summon per turn, right?
Yes.
So if you normal summon this and you pull another Snake Eye from your deck, you can't then normal summon that as well. You would need some other way to get that out to the field.
Got it.
Just to make sure you're fully understanding.
I don't fully understand, but I think that's kind of the point of the video. And I'm going to, even though I now know almost for a fact that my position is incorrect, I'm going to say that it's an absolute staple.
Don't speak too soon, because you're right. This is a staple card.
Hey!
Absolutely.
Look at me go!
And normally, you would see that this is only applicable to other Snake Eye cards, other fire cards, whatever. And you would think, well, it can't get used all the time if it has these restrictions on it. Turns out, Snake Eye is just strong enough that it's been over 50% of the meta for a very long time.
Whoa!
So everyone at home is very familiar with seeing this card. Obviously very strong to get a tutor from your deck, normal or special summon.
Yes.
And then the effect to special summon from your deck is also very, very strong.
No, absolutely. Magic has ways of cheating creatures out, big creatures out from your deck, and they are incredibly sought after pieces, your Eldritch Evolution, your Birthing Pods, etc., etc. So yeah. Hey, I didn't bugger it up.
Yeah,
Woo.
you already got 1 point.
All right.
Can only go down from here, right?
Stop saying that.
Let's move on to card number 2. We have Vagnawa, the Moon-Eating Dragon. Before we get into this thing's effects, synchros come out of your extra deck. So in addition to your main deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, you also have a 15-card extra deck that sits on the side, and anytime you meet the summoning condition for a monster in your extra deck, you can bring it out to the field.
Got it.
In this case, you need 1 tuner and 1 non-tuner monster. A tuner is just a tag that a card can have, just like Dragon
like Synchro.
or Synchro or Pyro, whatever.
Yeah.
And the 2 monsters you're using, their levels add up to the level of the Synchro monster. So in this case, you would need 2 monsters, one's a tuner, one's not a tuner, and their levels together make 7.
Got it. And when I do that, I can then play this card.
You have that on the field, you can send them to the grave and bring this guy out.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is a dark attribute. This is a level 7 dragon synchro effect. So I have, oh my god, 1 turner plus 1 plus non-turner monsters. If this card is synchro summoned, which is what we've just been talking about, you can activate this effect. This card gains 300 attack for each level that the non-tuner used has. So, for example, if I had a non-tuner that was level 6 and a tuner that was level 1 and I stack both of them, I get 300 times 6.
That's correct.
Okay, maths, that's coming in clutch. Then inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each level that the tuner used had. Oh, okay, so one of them is a permanent buff and one of them is an ETB fireball type thing.
Yes, the buff lasts until the end of your opponent's turn.
Got it. The attack increase lasts until the end of your next turn. You can only use the effect of the name of the dragon once per turn. How much life do you start with in Yu-Gi-Oh?
You start with 8,000 life.
Okay, so if you were to do the maximum damage with the tuner, then that would be 6 times 300, so 6 times 3 is 18, so put to 1,800. That doesn't seem like I mean, you know, it's a chunk, but it doesn't feel like it would end the game.
Yes.
It's 7, so I can't just plop it into play normally. You can only do that up until level 4, if my memory serves.
Yes, and that's also only from your hand.
And that's
so
only
monsters from the extra deck you can't normal summon, even if they are level 4.
I don't think this card's very good. I think I'd even go so far as to say that this card's a bit of a stinker.
This card's a bit of a stinker. Okay, you are absolutely correct.
Yes, sir!
This is a stinker card. It's a bit of a do-nothing card. Like, if you're synchro summoning something, you're using 2 cards on your field, you kind of want to be like impacting what is going on.
Yes.
Just giving this a bunch of attack or doing a little bit of burn damage when it comes out is like not impactful enough for the resources you're putting in.
Yeah, like if I'm playing limited in Magic, I might play a creature that has, you know, ETB deal 3 damage to an opponent. But if I'm playing a constructed format, the only time I want to be dealing direct damage to an opponent is either to kill them with a big fireball spell or as part of a series of small burn spells like in Red Deck Wins.
Yeah.
Whereas this feels like weird mid-range. So yeah, I'm glad I got that right.
Let's have a look at card number 3. This is Molcharmy Fubulos.
Okay, so immediately, the art is absolutely adorable, which makes me think that this is some kind of evil bastard card that wins games on its own.
That is the beauty of Yu-Gi-Oh! You have these crazy, awesome dragon arts, but you also have these like tiny, cutesy creatures. It's amazing.
Exactly. So this is a wind attribute level 4 winged beast. Love that. Love that it's winged beast.
Winged beast as opposed to just beast.
Or bird, as many other. Well, actually, but no, we can't get into. I can't get into that at the moment. So it's a winged beast / effect. If you control no cards, quick effect. You can discard this card, apply these effects this turn. Okay, so if I have nothing on the field, I can discard this to have these 2 bullet pointed effects.
Yes, and quick effect means essentially it's at instant speed.
Got it, I can do it in my opponent's turn as well.
Yes,
fantastic.
Exactly.
Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the deck and or extra deck, immediately draw 1 card. Seems pretty good on the face of it. Once during the end phase, if the number of cards in your hand is more than the number of cards in your opponent controls, plus 6, you must randomly shuffle cards from your hand into the deck so that the number in your hand equals the number your opponent controls plus 6. You can only activate this ability once a turn. So I'm just going to make sure I understand that correctly. So if I were to quick effect to that on your turn, and you were summoning multiple monsters from your deck, special summoning, and I drew a bunch of cards, at the end of the turn, if I had, let's say you had 2 cards in hand and I had 9 cards in hand as a result, I'd have to discard one of those hands because it's 6 plus whatever you've got, right?
Yes, it's the number of cards I have on the field.
Oh, on the field.
So if I, like you say, I do a crazy combo and I'm special summoning a bunch or drawing cards for each special summon, if I end with 3 cards on my field, you have 12 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
You would have to discard down to 3 plus 6 is 9. Shuffle back, not discard, actually.
I mean, on the face of it, if a card has a inbuilt restriction printed on it, it's either that restriction means the card is completely useless, or that restriction was put in place as a means of attempting to curtail the power of a ridiculously powerful card. And I think, again, layman's perspective on Yu-Gi-Oh, but if I'm facing down someone and I've seen some tone ones of Yu-Gi-Oh! And they go absolutely nutty. If I discard this and draw 20 cards because my opponent's just played a bunch of stuff out and I get a bunch of new effects and quick effects and stuff like that, I think this card sounds really very powerful. I'm going to say that this is a staple.
Well, you are 100% correct.
Let's go! I'm so good at this.
This is maybe the most game-breaking card we've gotten in a very long time.
Oh, is this reasonably new?
It's only just come out.
Dang.
A copy, one single copy, will cost you over €100 on Cardmarket.
Woo!
And quite literally, there's not really any reason to not play 3 of this card. It is so obscenely powerful to draw based on your opponent's special summons from extra deck and deck. Even if you do end up shuffling back a couple cards, chances are the board that your opponent made isn't that good. If they only have a couple cards on it, draw cards, it's good.
Seems really good. Hey, drawing cards is good. You heard it here first, folks.
Yes, there's an old card called Maxi, which has been banned in the TCG for a long time, and it is a quick effect discard to draw a card every time your opponent special summons at all from anywhere with no shuffle back restriction at all. So quite literally, you could drop Maxi and draw 20 cards and then start your turn with a 25, 26 card hand.
Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good.
So this is sort of the new version of that that's a bit more balanced.
And it's still absolutely busted.
And it's still insane.
Love that. Absolutely adore that. Brilliant. Well, I'm 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
Okay.
It's looking good.
It's looking really good. All right, let's have a little look.
This is card number 4. This is Old Mind.
Okay, so this is a spell. It's a spell card. Lovely. I also love the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the art depict Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
It's cool, right?
So funny.
Yeah.
Look at one random card in your opponent's hand, then apply one of the following effects. Discard both the opponent's card and one card from your hand of the same type, then add this card from the field to your opponent's hand. Oh, it's Old Maid. It's Old Maid, Old Mind. Oh, that's funny. Then add this card from the field to your opponent's hand, and if you do, draw one card, or you lose 1,000 life points. You can only activate Old Mind once a turn. So, I play it on, let's say I play it on turn 1. How many cards do you start with in?
Start with 5.
Okay, start with 5. And this is I can only play this on my turn. It's not a quick action.
That is right.
Fantastic. So I play this, you reveal maybe your combo piece, maybe a monster I don't want you to see. I, in response, discard something that shares a type with it. You get Old Mind, and I draw a card. Now,
the gears are going like...
Honestly, the tiny machine that lives inside my head is whirring.
Yeah.
I have no idea how I feel about this card. I love it. I think this is beautiful. I would love to see something like this printed in an unset, should they ever get remade in Magic. This is going to be a full 50-50 because either this is an obnoxious staple that people have to consistently play around and you just see Old Mind happening every single turn, or it's such a weird little mini game that no one bothers with it and they just try and combo off. Oh my God, this is so... You know what?
It gets points for flavor at the very least.
It gets points for flavor at the very least. I'm going to say, how would this do in Magic? Pay 1 mana, target opponent discards a card at random effectively, because that, in terms of card parity. Hymn to Turok's pretty good. It's a 2-for-1 though. Oh, you also lose 1,000 life. I forgot about that.
You lose 1,000 life if you don't discard a card.
Oh, got it.
So the idea is like, if you reveal like a trap card from their hand and you don't have any traps in your hand, then this goes to grave and you lose 1,000
Of
life.
course, because you can only get rid of it if you have a card of that same type. In that case, I'm going to say Stinker.
You're going to say Stinker on Old Mind.
I am going to say Stinker on
Even
Old
though
Mind.
it's such a funny little mini game.
It's such a funny little mini game, and I am immediately regretting my decision, but I'm sticking to my guns.
Old Mind is, in fact, a Stinker.
Yes, sir! Oh, let's go!
You're right. I really like the artwork on this card. It's very funny.
I love the little droplet of sweat on the person's hand.
Yeah, he's like, oh god.
Please don't take it, please don't take it.
It's not what you want to be spending a card in your hand on doing, especially since it's a random card from your opponent's hand.
Yes.
There's a lot of very powerful banned cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That let you look at your opponent's hand and maybe take a card out of it. It's a random card. You also have to have the same type of card
That's the
to get
thing.
rid of.
Yeah.
So it's just not quite worth like the random risk of like hitting a card that might not even be that important.
No, 100%, absolutely. Okay, hey, 4 for 4.
4 for 4. Pressure's on.
I'm feeling good, I'm feeling good. All right, let's see number 5.
Number 5 is none other than Roadnut.
I'm just immediately, again, going to say, same logic is applying. This is potentially a nightmare bastard that's going to haunt the dreams of many a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
That's it.
Okay, so this is an Earth attribute. It's a level 1 beast with an effect. Each time your opponent special summons a monster, place 1 nut counter on this card. You can remove 1 nut counter from this card to target 1 monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target.
It's a strong little squirrel, isn't it?
That can't not be strong. I don't see how this couldn't be good. Yeah, this is a rattlesnake. You play this out, your opponent can't special summon something because the moment that they do, you have a nut counter, you take it off, it's gone. This has got to be a staple.
There is a small clarification that unlike Fugalos, which has a quick effect, which means you can do it during your opponent's turn, you cannot activate Roadnut during your opponent's turn because it's not a quick effect.
Sorry, you're right. There is a full stop between on this card and you can remove. So it's
punctuation in Yu-Gi-Oh! Very important.
And also important in real life. Hey kids, stay in school and learn how to write good.
Learn the difference between a colon and a semicolon.
Yeah. No, actually that never comes up. Don't bother with that.
Except for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Except for Yu-Gi-Oh! No, you are right. So again, okay, thinking about the logic of a Yu-Gi-Oh game that I've seen, the very few that I've seen, it seems that unless you have immediate interaction with someone's board, they're normally winning very, very quickly. If it is effectively a sorcery speed thing, I do actually want to change my answer. I think this might be a stinker.
Mm-hmm. Instant interaction is in fact very important in Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is a stinker.
Yes.
You are absolutely correct. There is no way Roadnut would survive until your next turn.
100%. It's got 100 defense. Yeah. I could blow on it and it dies.
Exactly. So it's a nice idea, but a very good way to show you the difference between quick effects. So I helped you out a little bit. I gave you a little bit of a nudge.
You did.
But still, 5 for 5.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll go 4.5 out of 5 because I think
that's fair. Half point.
It was important to point out the punctuation, and I managed to get there in the end. But you're right, you did help out with that one. But if I get this, no one's gone 5.5 for 6 before.
That's right. So card number 6.
Let's do it.
Guardian Chimera.
Okay, sweet. So there's 500 words on this.
You know what? I thought ahead. Let's take a look at Guardian Chimera.
Unironically, this is still difficult to read. Guardian Chimera, this is a dark, oh my god, what level is this? 8, it's a 9 level spell? 10 level spell? I can't do maths. 9 level, cool. Okay, it's a beast fusion effect. 3 monsters with different names. So you have to have 3 monsters that have different names, they all become the Guardian Chimera, that's fun. Mm-hmm. Must first be fusion summoned using only fusion materials from your hand and field. What on earth is a fusion material? Outside of like molybdenum.
Yeah, a fusion monster is exactly what it sounds like. You take a bunch of monsters and you fuse them all together, such as a Chimera.
Yeah.
You need to have materials, monsters on your field or in your hand, plus a fusion spell card. Mm-hmm. So old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Polymerization was the card that let Yugi combine 2 of his monsters together.
Nice.
It's the same thing. There is more cards in the game that let you do fusions now than just polymerization. Mm-hmm. But at the least, you need 3 monsters plus a spell card or effect that lets you fusion summon.
Fantastic, thank you. Must be fusion summoned only using fusion materials from my hand and field with at least 1 monster from each. So I need to have at least 1 monster in my hand and 1 monster in the field, and then I could have a fusion spell as well. If this card is fusion summoned by a spell card or effect, you can draw cards equal to the number of cards used as materials from your hand. And if you do, destroy cards your opponent controls equal to the number of cards used as material from the field. You can only use this effect of guarding Chimera once per turn. Whilst polymerization is in your graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Okay, so it has hexproof, more or less, if you have the card polymerization in your graveyard. I also love Yu-Gi-Oh! For how specific it gets with card names. Magic doesn't do that a lot. They've got a few things which, if you play 3 copies of this card, you get to go and search up this named creature, and I always love it. It feels so card game.
Yeah, I mean, you would love Yu-Gi-Oh! Because every archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about this named card from your deck to your hand.
I feel like I understand Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much entirely already, so I'd be pretty good at it. If I'm getting this right, I have to have at least 1 monster in my hand and 1 monster in my field in order to special summon this.
Yes.
I also have to have 1 additional fusion card, which I ideally want to be a spell so that I can draw cards if I use it from my hand.
If the spell you use is the most basic fusion, it has hexproof, and then if you use 2 from your hand and 1 on your field, you get to draw 2 and then destroy 1 card. If you use 2 from the field and 1 in your hand, you get to draw 1 card and destroy 2 on the field.
It does seem good. I'm finding myself a little bit wearing away from it simply because, again, kind of going on. I know that the art didn't help me out last time, but I look at these 2 cards and I intrinsically know that this one is Satan and this one is potentially the face card of an intro deck.
Right.
This is the thing that sells people who don't understand the game into the game, and this is the thing that people who understand the game fear and see behind their eyelids.
Right.
I feel like I'm being set up here as a patsy. I feel like this is some kind of con, because you showed me this card and you said, oh, look, don't worry, we've got a really big one. Look how big and impressive this is. You've led me astray. I feel like you're punking me, and this is a stinker.
I printed out this big giant card just to make you think it's better than it is.
100%. That is what you did, and that is what is about to be proved when you say that it is a stinker.
Can we have 100% accuracy, Spice?
100% accuracy, 100% precision. There is no modicum of doubt in my soul or being that this is a stinky, stinky stinker.
Spice 8 Rack.
Yes.
New world champion of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Let's actually go!
This is a staple.
Damn it. No! You Rube! No, I'm the Rube! God, no!
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, bugger. I was so actually confident. I want to make it clear. I wasn't playing it up for the camera. Genuinely thought I had it on the money and was hoping for a win there.
Sadly, this card just does a lot of good stuff. It draws cards, it destroys cards. It's 3 monsters with different names, but that's honestly a pretty generic requirement. There's a lot of fusions that you need specific named cards in order to bring them out, and this does not need that. Pretty much any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point during your turn is going to have 3 different monsters.
Yeah, no, that's true.
In your hand / on your field. And yeah, drawing cards is good, popping stuff is good. If you polymerization with it, it's hexproof and hard to deal with. So. And
hey, Boo Boo the Fool is me. And I accept the loss. I accept going 4.5 out of 6. Mm-hmm. I still think that's pretty good.
That was, honestly, a very strong showing for someone who's not familiar with Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. Hey, if you enjoyed this, you can check out Spice 8 Rack on their channel. They got all kinds of awesome Magic videos. I love the Goblin video. Even though I don't play Magic, it's great.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And if you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
Only Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards I remember off the top of my head is Relinquish, because that was the face card of the intro deck that I bought. I remember none of the cards in it.
All those old school starter decks, they were peak.
See you in the next one.
Bye-bye.